All right, pregame thoughts. I'm going to go a different direction here to start off this. I don't say happy Memorial Day because this shouldn't be a happy day. It should be a day of thanks because there are a lot of people that are away from family. There are a lot of people that have lost their lives to help, defend this country and allow us to live the lives that we live. So I don't like to say happy Memorial Day, just that, okay, it's Memorial Day. Let's have that, at the front of our minds. And so that is that there. Another direction I wanted to take this was Bill Walton passing away today. I believe he was 71, battled with cancer. And this is a guy who is a San Diego legend. And anyone that knows me on this channel sometimes talk about other San Diego sports. So I think it is relevant to take a moment to talk about Bill Walton here for a second before getting into Padres Marlins here. Just someone that I obviously didn't get to watch him play. And obviously, he won championships with UCLA and with the Blazers and the Celtics. And he was on the San Diego Clippers the brief time that they were here in San Diego. But what I got was the broadcast point of Bill Walton's career, of his life. And whenever Bill Walton was on a broadcast, if I had nothing to do, I would be watching that broadcast, and I would make sure. And sometimes they were late at night because those were the Pac-12 broadcasts, but he just was so positive and he had so much energy in those calls. And he just didn't know what he was going to say. And I posted a video on social media today of the interview that he gave with Annie Heilbrunn, and Annie's like not really asking too many questions, and Bill just keeps talking. And how excited this was when Eric Lauer was pitching for the Padres Rockies, and he was so excited to be there and that the Padres are winning that game. He's thrown multiple first pitches, I believe, at Padres games. Went to Helix High School, my high school, so I got to meet him as well. I think that was 2016, something like that. 2017, maybe. I forget exactly what year, but just seemed like such a great guy. Seemed like he always had a smile on his face, and I'm sure that he is hoping for the Padres to start playing some consistent, good baseball because it seemed like he loved the Padres. He loved, or at least he showed appreciation to Ron Fowler and Peter Seidler. So, wishing the best, obviously, in this tough time to his family because, man, he was, and obviously I didn't know him, but it just seemed like he was such a good one here on this earth. And so he's definitely going to be missed. A impossible transition to just talk about a baseball game here, but Padres Marlins, game 1 of 3. Luis Ariza's former team, the team that just traded him not that long ago, comes into San Diego. Skip Schumacher, obviously, former Padre coach. He comes in with a team that you look at the record, and yesterday on the show, I was like, you got to win this series, and I still have that viewpoint. And their record 19-35, last place in the National League East. It's like, wow, this team sucks. Got to win this game, this series, I should say. Hopefully, I mean, a sweep would be nice. But then you see, well, they're facing all lefties. Not all of these games are during the day. Maybe we should temper our expectations a little bit just based on who this team is right now. And the fact that when you look at the Marlins schedule, they've actually been winning series like the Padres have. They won 2 out of 3 against the D-backs. They won 2 out of 3 against the Brewers. They won 2 out of 3 against the Mets. They won 2 out of 3 against the Tigers and the series before that, they lost that series to the Phillies. They got swept by the Dodgers before that. But like the last, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, last 4 series, they've won them. So maybe that's a warning to us to be like, well, Marlins, it's not who you play. Tim Flannery, he had a comment. He replied to one of my posts this morning saying, like, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And that could be the case here for this Miami Marlins series. So I hope not. I hope that the Padres can take advantage of playing the Marlins and end this homestand on a good note because those first 2 games of that Yankee series were not fun. Offense didn't do anything really. And yesterday it was good to get a win, but you still lost the series. And if you lose the series to the Marlins, like that's going to be looked at as a terrible homestand there. The good news is the Padres, played the Dodgers a lot already, played the Braves on the road against the Reds, played the Yankees. Now they have a stretch of 19 games before they face the Phillies, but 19 games, most of them are against teams that have bad records, losing records. I posted this last night. Next 19 games, 3 against the Marlins, 19 and 35 entering this series, 3 against the Royals. They're playing good, 34 and 20. So that's like the one good team. Then you got the Angels, 3, 20 and 33 is their record. You got 4 against the D-backs, 25 and 28, 3 against the A's, 22 and 33, and 3 against the Mets, 22 and 30. Like that should be a stretch where the Padres definitely come out of that with a winning record. And I hope it's not 10 and 9. I hope it's much better than that. I mean, 13 and 6? That's probably asking for too much. But I want this team to, get above 5. Make this 19-game stretch where you get above 500 and you can stay above 500 the rest of the season. And we'll see if the Padres can do that. My underdog fantasy pick today, Michael King, lower on half first inning runs allowed. His last outing, 6 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 6, gave up a homer against the Cincinnati Reds. He's been up and down. The outing before that gave up 6 earned runs, but then the 2 outings before that, no runs combined. Obviously, there was that great Dodger outing May 10th where no runs, only 2 walks, struck out. 2 walks was the outing after that. 3 walks, 11 punch-outs, had no walks that May 4th outing against the D-backs. So, yeah, it's been up and down. We'll see what Michael King, the Padres, get today. It's a 3:40 first pitch, so I'm sure the shadows will be mentioned at some point on the broadcast if those shadows end up being a factor here. As you can see, Padres lineup is out. Luis Arraez is leading off. I would be surprised if he doesn't get a hit today. Tatis hitting second, Profar hitting third, then Manny Cronenworth. Look, pay attention to that. Manny, he was hitting fifth. Now he's bumped up hitting fourth with Crony hitting fifth. And so they have left, right, 3 righties in a row there because there's a lefty on the mound. So, there's a reason for that. That's probably what Mike Schilt will say about, the lefty matchup. So, Crony there, then Solano DHing, Campy catching, Merrill and Kim. And then the Marlins, you look at their lineup and who's going to hurt you? Are pitchers scared of Jazz Chisholm anymore? I'm not so sure. That's a genuine question. I don't know the answer to that. I'm not watching Marlins. I'm not locked into Marlins games. But I wonder. He is leading off, but it feels like he's, been on the decline since being on the MLB The Show cover. There's De La Cruz, but who's going to hurt you? I point to Josh Bell, former Padre. Maybe Jake Berger. Those are the ones that I look at, but go look at all those OPSs, and there's not really impressive OPSs there. They've got 3 guys over 700. Is that Christian Bethancourt? He's still in the league? Yeah, that's former Padre Christian Bethancourt. He's catching today for the Marlins. So that's what we got today. There's some pregame thoughts. Padres, Marlins, first pitch, 3:40. King against Rogers, all lefties in this series that the Padres are going to be facing with the Marlins in town. And bullpen situation, Estrada and Suarez pitched yesterday, but they probably can go back-to-back days. Although Estrada did go, I think, almost 30 pitches yesterday, so we'll see what happens there. Hopefully the Padres could get a lead. Get a lead for Michael King, ride that lead to a nice win today, and start a winning streak.